Chosen one. You did not arrive here by accident. Heaven scheduled this moment with precision. The Spirit has pulled you into a divine appointment because you are standing at the edge of a supernatural breakthrough, a financial release that has been stirring in the unseen realm. Anointed one. Something is shifting around your name. What was delayed is aligning, what was withheld is preparing to be released. For the Lord declares the vision is for an appointed time, and that time is pressing into your now. Open your spirit. Heaven has something urgent, something holy, something destined for you alone. Chosen one. There are moments in your life when everything around you feels ordinary, but something inside you knows that heaven is moving. This is one of those moments. You may be sitting in your room, in your car, at your desk, or scrolling through your phone, but the atmosphere around your spirit has shifted. I feel it even as I speak this. You did not stumble into this message. You were drawn into it. Heaven has been arranging the timing of your steps, the stirring in your heart, the uneasiness you couldn't explain, the restlessness that wouldn't let you settle. All of it was leading you here, because the word you are about to receive is not just guidance, it is alignment. It is heaven reaching into your timeline to pull you into a divine window that has been appointed specifically for you. Chosen one. You may not see the full picture yet, but something appointed is approaching your life. I know what it feels like when God begins to shift the air around you. I've lived through those seasons when you can't articulate what's changing, but your spirit feels the weight of it. You wake up different, you think different, you sense more, you move carefully because something in you whispers, pay attention. That is the mark of divine timing. When heaven begins to press into your world, you feel it before you understand it. And right now, heaven is drawing your attention to timing, not just any timing, but a sacred, urgent, appointed moment that is tied to a breakthrough you have been praying for without even realizing how close it truly is. Anointed one. Every destiny has a window. Every elevation has a moment where heaven says, now. What you're feeling in this season, the pressure, the sensitivity, the spiritual alertness, it is not anxiety. It is the sound of heaven knocking. It is the inner witness of the Spirit, signaling that something is aligning in your favor. I have walked through seasons where God called me into alignment before I saw any evidence of change. And every single time that alignment became the doorway to something greater. That is why this moment matters so much for you. Heaven is not trying to scare you. Heaven is preparing you, positioning you, protecting you from missing what you were born to carry. When God highlights a moment, it is because grace has come attached to that moment. And right now, grace is reaching for you. Chosen one. The urgency you feel is spiritual. It is heaven saying, get in position. There are divine opportunities that do not appear for the casual or the distracted. There are blessings that require your spirit to be awake, your heart to be clean, and your faith to be active. I've watched people miss seasons, not because God didn't send the blessing, but because they weren't spiritually ready to receive it. And I've watched others step into sudden favor because they recognized the moment when God whispered, move. You are standing in such a moment now. Heaven is calling you to rise above the noise, the emotional battles, the distractions that have drained you, the cycles that tried to pull you backward. Those things are not just inconveniences. They are attempts to weaken your focus at a time when your destiny requires clarity. Anointed one. What you are stepping into is not small. God is preparing you for new doors, new opportunities, new revelation, and yes, even a divine financial shift that will reposition you in ways you cannot imagine. But with new doors comes new responsibility. You cannot walk into a new season with an old mindset. You cannot carry old wounds into new rooms. Heaven is inviting you to clean your atmosphere, your intentions and your faith, not as a burden, but as a preparation for the blessing already approaching you. I have learned through my own journey that God never calls us to surrender something unless He has already prepared something better on the other side of obedience. Your surrender is not loss. It is positioning. Chosen one. What you have carried silently, what you have battled privately, what you have survived without applause, heaven saw it all. You didn't break, you didn't quit, you didn't abandon your purpose even when you felt lost inside your own calling. And because of that, something has been triggered in the spiritual realm. Heaven rewards perseverance, heaven responds to faithfulness, heaven honors endurance. Even now, I feel a stirring that your next chapter is not something you will walk into slowly. It is something that will meet you suddenly. And God does not want you stepping into that moment unprepared, unfocused, or spiritually distracted. Anointed one, hear me clearly. This divine urgency is not a threat. It is an invitation. It is heaven saying you are too close to miss what I ordained for you. You may have been waiting for a sign, a confirmation, a moment that tells you things are shifting. This message is that moment. This is heaven's announcement that the spiritual clock over your life is striking. Something you have prayed for, a release, a breakthrough, a divine reversal is now entering motion. And your heart, your mind, your spirit must align so that when the door opens, you walk through it boldly, fully, fearlessly. Chosen one. You are entering a season where what once felt delayed will begin to accelerate. Places where you felt stuck will begin to loosen. Thoughts that once clouded your mind will begin to clear. This is not the end of your battle. This is the beginning of your breakthrough. Heaven is on schedule, and that schedule now includes you. Chosen one, as we move deeper into this word, I need you to understand something. Heaven has been whispering over your life. You are not late. You are aligned. The delays you thought were failures were actually divine pauses slowing you down, so you would arrive at the exact moment heaven was ready to release what belongs to you. I know how painful those pauses can feel. I know what it is like to pray with trembling hands, to wait with a tired heart, to wonder if God forgot your name. But chosen vessels experience chosen timing. Heaven will never rush what carries eternal purpose, and your purpose has always carried weight. That is why the timing over your life has felt pressured, refined, stretched. Heaven has been preparing you, not punishing you. Anointed one, there is a reason your spirit has been more sensitive than usual. There is a reason you've been feeling the nudge to detach from old patterns, old conversations, old habits, and even old versions of yourself. Heaven is cleansing your spiritual frequency because what is coming requires clarity, discernment, and purity of intention. Think about it. You cannot hear a whisper in a room full of noise. Likewise, you cannot perceive a divine instruction while carrying emotional clutter. I've walked through seasons where God asked me to make room before He revealed what He was sending. It felt like loss at first, but later I realized He was rearranging my inner world so His voice could land without interference. That is what He is doing inside you right now. He is preparing your internal atmosphere for a supernatural shift. Chosen one, the urgency in this season is not about danger, it is about destiny. Heaven is not trying to terrify you. Heaven is trying to awaken you. You are stepping into a moment where the windows over your life are open. Opportunities that were once locked are loosening. Alignments that were impossible before are now becoming accessible. But open windows require awake spirits. God cannot pour oil into a distracted vessel. He cannot unveil direction to someone emotionally tied to the past. And this is where heaven is calling you higher. The pressure you feel is not a sign of collapse. It is a sign of elevation. Like a plane breaking through turbulence as it rises, your spirit is breaking through the old atmosphere because a higher altitude is calling your name. Anointed One, think back on your life. Reflect on the times when things almost opened but didn't. The moments when people entered but couldn't stay. The opportunities that came close but slipped away. It was not sabotage. It was not rejection. It was protection. Heaven knew that the version of you back then did not yet match the size of the blessing that was coming. The oil on your life was still settling. The roots of your character were still deepening. The clarity of your calling was still forming. Now the timing is different. Now heaven sees readiness in you. Heaven sees surrender. Heaven sees maturity that was forged through tears, losses, disappointments, and victories no one else witnessed. This is why a divine warning has been issued, not because you are behind, but because you are finally ready. Chosen One. There are 3 realms heaven is calling you to discern right now. The first is the realm of distraction. The enemy does not need to destroy you if he can detour you. Emotional battles, unnecessary conversations, sudden irritations, old temptations, all designed to pull your focus away from the place God is leading you. I've lived through seasons where everything minor felt major, where tiny issues drained massive energy. Only later did I understand the enemy attacks hardest when heaven is closest. Distractions intensify right before doors open. This is the moment when your attention becomes spiritual currency. Protect it, guard it, steward it well. The second realm is the realm of readiness. Heaven is sending something toward you, a person, an opportunity, a restoration, a revelation, a financial breakthrough, but your mindset must match your moment. A new season cannot be entered with an old perspective. I've learned the hard way that God will not give what you are not mentally or spiritually positioned to sustain. This is why He is prompting you to clear your intentions, clean your motives, and purify your desires. Not because He wants perfection, but because He wants to trust you with promotion. Your heart posture will determine how you handle what He places in your hands. The third realm is the realm of obedience. Anointed One, hear this with clarity. Delayed obedience is silent disobedience. When heaven speaks, timing matters as much as instruction. There are blessings that manifest only when obedience and divine timing collide. Some breakthroughs come through prayer, but others come through alignment, stepping when God says step, releasing when God says release, speaking when God says speak. I've lost opportunities in my life simply because I hesitated. And I've gained supernatural opportunities simply because I said yes when my flesh still felt afraid. Obedience is not about understanding, it is about trusting the one who cannot fail. Chosen One. Heaven is inviting you deeper into spiritual clarity. Before Friday morning, something in your life must shift internally or externally so that you do not miss the divine release approaching you. This is not pressure, it is preparation. Heaven is not demanding performance. Heaven is inviting partnership. You are not being called to strive, you are being called to align. When your spirit comes into agreement with God's timing, breakthrough becomes inevitable, destiny becomes unavoidable, and the doors that once resisted you swing open under the weight of divine momentum. 1. Your sensitivity is not a burden, it is a signal. Your restlessness is not weakness, it is awakening. Heaven is tuning your spirit because what is coming requires a version of you that is fully present, fully surrendered, fully aware. You are being elevated internally before you are elevated externally. Your heart is being refined. Your vision is being sharpened. Your faith is being strengthened. Heaven is not lowering you. Heaven is lifting you. And the urgency you feel is evidence that God is near, attentive, intentional, and moving on your behalf. Chosen one, you are closer to your breakthrough than you think. Your next step is sacred. Your next decision is pregnant with purpose. And your next sunrise will not just mark time, it will mark transformation. Chosen one. As we continue, I need you to understand something deep in your spirit. Heaven is not calling you to be afraid of what is coming. Heaven is calling you to be aware. Awareness is a spiritual key. Awareness sharpens discernment. Awareness prepares the heart. Awareness positions you for divine opportunity. You have entered a prophetic window where spiritual sensitivity is not optional, it is essential. I have lived through seasons where God whispered warnings not to frighten me, but to shift me, align me, awaken me to something approaching my life. And every time I listened, what looked like disruption was actually protection. What felt like loss became preparation for promotion. You are in such a moment now, a moment where heaven is saying, stay awake. Something is approaching that requires your attention. Anointed one, spiritual sleepiness is one of the greatest dangers for those who carry destiny. When your spirit grows dull, you begin to tolerate things that once grieved you. You begin to overlook warnings you would normally recognize. You begin to settle for atmospheres that weaken your calling. But heaven is not allowing you to drift. Heaven is tugging at you. Heaven is pulling you into awareness. That is why small things suddenly feel loud. That is why people's intentions seem clearer. That is why certain conversations drain you faster. You are not becoming sensitive in a negative way, you are becoming spiritually awake. There is a difference. When heaven awakens a chosen vessel, the heart becomes alert, the ears become attentive, and the atmosphere around your life begins to shift. Chosen one. This season of awakening is not random. It is heaven's preparation for what your next chapter requires. When God elevates a person, the first thing he elevates is their awareness. Think of a watchman standing on a high tower. The higher the tower, the farther he can see. God is lifting your perspective because what is coming next cannot be discerned from ground level. You need spiritual height. You need prophetic clarity. You need inner steadiness that does not shake when circumstances do. I remember times in my life when God took me through seasons of isolation, not to punish me, but to raise the tower of my awareness. He needed me to see from a different place. He needed me to hear from a deeper place. And now he is doing the same in you. Anointed one, what you are perceiving right now, the urgency, the spiritual weight, the holy pressure, is heaven preparing you for breakthrough. Breakthrough does not simply appear. Breakthrough begins as a shift inside you long before it manifests around you. You begin to outgrow environments. You begin to crave peace. You begin to withdraw from drama. You begin to hunger for clarity. You begin to move more intentionally. That is not personality change. That is spiritual maturation. Heaven matures a person before it manifests a promise. And this inner maturing is one of the clearest signs that breakthrough is near. Chosen one, I need you to hear this with reverence. What you feel happening inside you is not instability, it is alignment. You are not breaking down, you are breaking out. The confusion, you escaped the fog that lifted the heaviness that suddenly made sense. The patterns you finally recognized. All of these are indicators that heaven has begun rearranging the internal architecture of your destiny. God clears the inner world before he releases the outer blessing. He restores the heart before he restores the opportunity. He realigns the mind before he realigns the path. If your inner world feels like it is being reorganized, it is because heaven is preparing space for what is on the way. Anointed one. This is also why the enemy has been fighting your clarity. The enemy is not threatened by your past. He is threatened by your awakening. Once a chosen vessel becomes spiritually alert, the enemy loses his influence. So he fights through distraction, emotional turbulence, old memories, past failures, unnecessary busyness, anything to keep your spirit tired and unfocused. But heaven is breaking that cycle over you. You have survived too much, learned too much, grown too much, and seen too much to fall back into the patterns that used to trap you. Heaven is calling you forward, not backward. And forward is where breakthrough lives. Chosen one. Heaven is emphasizing something critical in this season. Your internal condition determines what opens next. Blessings do not land in cluttered places. Breakthrough cannot rest in a divided heart. Elevation cannot attach itself to instability. This is why heaven is calling you to guard your heart, guard your focus, guard your faith. You are stepping into a moment where what you carry inside will influence what God releases outside. When the heart is steady, doors open smoothly. When the mind is clear, decisions become accurate. When the spirit is surrendered, opportunities flow naturally. The work God is doing inside you is not small. It is the groundwork for everything coming next. Anointed one, your sensitivity is evidence of your calling. Some of the greatest spiritual battles happen in silence, in the spaces where you discern something shifting but cannot yet name it. In the moments where your spirit reacts before your mind understands. This is the language of heaven. God often awakens your spirit before he reveals his plan. I have had seasons where my spirit felt unsettled with no explanation, only to discover later that heaven was preparing me for a transition, a breakthrough, or a divine intervention. If you feel that stirring now, honor it. Do not dismiss it as emotion. Do not ignore it because you cannot explain it. When heaven stirs your spirit, it is because heaven is moving your destiny. Chosen one. This is a watchtower moment for you. Heaven is lifting you into prophetic awareness so you can discern what is shifting around you. Stay attentive, stay aligned, stay surrendered. A divine release is approaching your life, and heaven does not want you to miss the timing attached to it. The atmosphere around your spirit is changing because the season around your destiny is changing. Chosen one, as we continue, you need to understand this truth, that heaven keeps pressing into my spirit for you. The pressure you have been feeling is not punishment, it is prophecy. It is the announcement that something in your life is about to shift into motion. People often think breakthrough arrives quietly, but many times breakthrough arrives as tension, as restlessness, as a strange heaviness that sits on the edge of your awareness. I've lived through seasons where everything looked the same on the outside, but inside I could feel the ground beneath my life rearranging. That sensation you're feeling, the disruption, the pull, the urgency, is heaven preparing the soil of your destiny for a divine release. Breakthrough rarely begins with fireworks. It begins with spiritual contractions. And chosen one, your spirit is contracting because something heaven ordained is ready to be birthed. Anointed one. You may have asked yourself recently, why does everything feel so intense all of a sudden? Why does it feel like my peace is being stretched? The answer is simple, yet deeply spiritual. When God is about to open a major door, He often allows the spiritual atmosphere around you to tighten. Not to frighten you, but to push you into awareness. You cannot enter a new season while sleepwalking through an old one. So heaven shakes you awake, heaven stirs you, heaven calls you higher. This stretching is holy. This pressure is sacred. It is heaven's way of raising your spiritual sensitivity so you do not miss what is coming. The discomfort you feel is not a sign of something going wrong. It is a sign of something going right. Chosen one. I know what it is like to feel stretched. I know how it feels when life seems normal, but your spirit knows something is shifting. I've experienced moments where God allowed the weight of destiny to rest on my shoulders before He revealed the blessing attached to it. At the time, it felt overwhelming, but looking back, I see what God was doing. He wasn't crushing me, He was conditioning me. He wasn't breaking me, He was building me. This is what He is doing in you. Heaven is not trying to make life heavier for you. Heaven is trying to make your spirit stronger, so when the blessing arrives, you can carry it without collapsing. Strength is not built in comfort. Strength is built in the tension between who you were and who you are becoming. Anointed one. This is why certain relationships have felt strained, certain habits uncomfortable, certain environments suffocating. You are outgrowing what used to fit you. Your spirit is stretching beyond the boundaries of your previous season. God is making the old atmosphere uncomfortable so you cannot settle where you no longer belong. I've learned through painful experiences that when God begins a new chapter, He often makes the old chapter unlivable. He removes the joy from places you've outgrown. He removes the peace from doors He's closing. He removes the desire for things that would keep you stuck. Do not interpret this as loss. Interpret it as transition. Heaven is shifting you forward. Chosen one. One of the greatest signs that breakthrough is near is the collapse of false comfort. When God is preparing you for divine release, He will not allow you to stay attached to emotional substitutes. He will not allow you to rely on distractions that drain your spirit. He will not allow you to anchor yourself to people who cannot walk with you into your next season. You may have noticed people distancing themselves, conversations, feeling different connections dissolving. This is not rejection, this is calibration. God is pruning your circle because elevation requires spiritual compatibility. Not everyone can breathe at the altitude you are rising into. Anointed one. I want you to reflect on this. The enemy has been trying to hijack your attention because your attention is powerful. Where your focus goes, your spirit follows. And where your spirit goes, your destiny flows. That is why the enemy has recently been stirring emotional turmoil, random thoughts, old memories, sudden irritations. Not because these things matter, but because your future does. The enemy wants you distracted when heaven wants you positioned. The enemy wants you scattered when heaven wants you steady. The enemy wants you overwhelmed when heaven wants you aware. Do not hand your focus to what does not carry your future. Chosen one. Heaven is not only exposing distractions, heaven is preparing doors. Divine opportunities are moving toward you even now. Heaven is orchestrating connections, aligning resources, shifting pathways, and preparing a season where the supernatural touches the natural in your life. You may not see the full picture yet, but the preparation is active. Heaven never warns without purpose. Heaven never stirs without intention. And if God is saying prepare it, is because the blessing has already started moving in your direction. I have walked through moments where God warned me of timing long before I understood the reason. Later, I realized the warning was the blessing's shadow, the first evidence that breakthrough was approaching. Anointed One. This is why your heart posture matters. A closed heart cannot receive an open door. A wounded heart cannot sustain supernatural favor. A divided heart cannot step boldly into opportunity. Heaven is calling you to guard your heart, not out of fear, but out of reverence for what your heart is about to carry. You are being entrusted with more clarity, more responsibility, more influence, more favor, more spiritual authority. Heaven never elevates a person without first shaping the heart that will steward that elevation. That shaping is happening inside you now. Chosen. One, understand this. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It is your spiritual antenna. It is how heaven communicates with you. When your spirit reacts, pay attention. When your peace shifts, pay attention. When your discernment sharpens, pay attention. These are not coincidences. These are spiritual indicators that the atmosphere of your life is changing. You are being transitioned from survival into strategy, from waiting into movement, from stagnation into acceleration. Heaven is aligning you with your next level, and you must remain awake enough to recognize it. Anointed One. This is not the time to shrink. This is not the time to doubt yourself. This is not the time to question your worth. Heaven has invested too much in you. You have survived too much. You have grown too much. You have carried too much oil for you to stay small. The pressure you feel is not pushing you down, it is pushing you forward. And what awaits you on the other side of this obedience is not just a blessing. It is a breakthrough that carries the fingerprints of heaven. Chosen One. As we continue, you must realize that heaven is not only preparing your spirit, heaven is preparing your path. The steps you are about to take will not be ordinary steps. They will be steps ordered, influenced, and illuminated by divine timing. Some of the doors that once seemed locked will begin to shift open with almost no effort. Some of the obstacles that once intimidated you will suddenly feel insignificant, and some of the goals you once feared were too large will now feel within reach. This is not because life has become easier. It is because your alignment has become sharper. When the Spirit aligns, the path obeys. Anointed One. I have seen this in my own journey. There were seasons when everything felt uphill, every breakthrough required a battle, every opportunity felt like warfare. But then there came moments when heaven breathed on my steps. What once resisted me began to yield. What once required striving began to flow. I didn't become more powerful, I became more aligned, and that is what is happening to you. Heaven is drawing your life into divine synchronization. You are stepping into a moment where your obedience, your timing, and God's purpose are coming into agreement. And when those three align, nothing can stop what heaven has ordained. Chosen One. This is why the voice of God is whispering to your spirit more frequently now. Not because you are fragile, but because you are chosen for something weighty. Heaven is not speaking loudly out of urgency. Heaven is speaking clearly out of intentionality. God does not want you walking into this next season confused. He wants you to walk in prepared authority. He wants you to recognize His movement, His nudges, His prompts, and even His pauses. Everything in this season is purposeful. Every feeling, every shift, every moment of clarity, they are all indicators that heaven is giving you instruction for where you are going next. Anointed One. Heaven is especially emphasizing this truth. Elevated seasons require elevated stewardship. What you are stepping into will not simply bless you, it will impact others connected to your destiny. Your breakthrough is not isolated. Your elevation is not independent. God does not bless a chosen vessel for that vessel alone. He blesses you because there are others assigned to your rise. There are people who will be strengthened by your courage, healed by your testimony, guided by your discernment, and inspired by your resilience. This is why your preparation matters. This is why heaven has been refining you. You are stepping into a position that carries spiritual influence. Chosen one, do not underestimate the importance of guarding your mind in this season. Your mind is the gateway through which faith enters or fear takes root. The enemy knows he cannot stop what heaven has scheduled, so he attempts to weaken the one who will receive it. He tries to fatigue your thoughts, cloud your discernment, and amplify doubts. But I need you to hear this. The enemy fights hardest where heaven is releasing the greatest. Your mental battles have been intense, not because you are failing, but because you are nearing breakthrough. You are not losing your mind. You are shedding the mindset that belonged to your old season. Anointed one, there is a transformation happening inside you that is deeper than you realize. You are not just thinking differently, you are seeing differently. You are not just feeling differently, you are perceiving differently. Your spirit is becoming more aware of heaven's movement and more resistant to spiritual interference. Things that once confused you now feel clearer. Conversations that once drained you now feel exposed. Situations that once pulled you backward now feel out of place. This is the evidence that heaven has been renewing your mind. You are stepping into a level of clarity that cannot be manipulated, diluted, or disrupted. Chosen one. Heaven is instructing you to pay attention to your inner atmosphere. If something steals your peace, it does not belong in your next season. If something clouds your focus, it is not assigned to your path. If something weakens your spirit, it is not aligned with your destiny. You may need to distance yourself from certain voices, habits, environments, or even memories that keep you tethered to who you used to be. This is not abandonment. It is ascension. Some weights are too heavy to carry into elevation. Heaven is freeing your hands so you can take hold of what is coming. Anointed one, you must also understand that the blessing approaching your life is not fragile. It is fortified. It is not unstable. It is established. Heaven does not release anything prematurely. If it is coming now, then heaven has deemed you ready. You may not feel ready. You may still see your flaws, your weaknesses, your uncertainties. But heaven sees your growth, your endurance, your surrender. Heaven sees the battles you survived silently, the nights you prayed with trembling hope, the moments you obeyed even when your emotions resisted. Heaven rewards faithfulness, not perfection, and you have been faithful even when you didn't feel strong. Chosen one, let this settle. Deeply, readiness is not a feeling. It is a posture. And your spirit is postured, your mind is awakening, your heart is aligning, your faith is strengthening. This is why heaven has issued a divine warning not to frighten you, but to focus you. There is a window in front of you, and heaven wants you stepping through it with clarity, not confusion. You are being positioned for divine release, for supernatural strategy, for breakthrough that shifts not only your life, but the trajectory of those connected to you. Anointed one, the atmosphere around you is thick with purpose. The weight you feel is not heaviness, it is holiness. Heaven is drawing close, leaning into your life with intention. The signs are everywhere if you look closely. Your desires are changing, your friendships are shifting, your routines are evolving, your inner world is expanding. These are all signs that the external blessing is near. Heaven prepares internally before it manifests externally. Chosen one. What is coming will require courage, maturity, and spiritual attentiveness, but it will also bring joy, relief, clarity, and supernatural confidence. You are not walking into a storm, you are walking into fulfillment. Chosen one. As we continue, heaven is drawing your attention to something deeply important. The shift happening around you is not just spiritual, it is strategic. God is not only working in your heart, He is working in the systems, the structures, and the circumstances connected to your destiny. Things that once seemed immovable are quietly loosening. Paths that once felt blocked are beginning to clear. This is the subtle movement of divine orchestration. Breakthrough rarely announces itself with noise. More often it whispers its arrival through alignment. Anointed one. You may have noticed that certain desires have been awakening in you. Desires for stability, for purpose, for clarity, for financial elevation, for a life that reflects God's intention rather than survival patterns. These desires are not random, they are prophetic indicators of what heaven is preparing to release. Whenever God begins to stir new longings in your spirit, it is because He is preparing new blessings in your life. You are not being teased, you are being transformed. Heaven does not awaken desire without preparing fulfillment. Chosen one. The reason your environment feels different lately is because your spirit has outgrown the level you used to live on. You cannot crave depth and still tolerate shallowness. You cannot seek clarity and still cling to confusion. You cannot pray for financial breakthrough and remain surrounded by atmospheres that drain your hope. Growth always shifts your gravitational pull. People, places, and patterns that once felt familiar now feel foreign. Do not judge this as instability. It is elevation. Heaven is pulling you upward. Anointed one. What you may not see yet is how close you are to divine intervention. Something in your life, whether finances, purpose, relationships, calling, or inner healing, is nearing a point of supernatural turning. You have been faithful in small things, consistent in seasons that felt barren, obedient, even when outcomes seemed delayed. Heaven has seen all of it, and heaven responds to faithfulness with release. Your next breakthrough will not require begging, it will require readiness. Chosen one. Let me remind you, divine timing is never random. When God says move, it is because blessing is already in motion. When God says prepare, it is because overflow is approaching. You are not being asked to change everything overnight. You are being asked to align your inner world with the future heaven is pulling you toward. Let go of the unnecessary, rise above the noise, clear your spirit of anything that does not serve your destiny. These simple acts of obedience unlock supernatural acceleration. Anointed one. What is coming will not resemble what you've walked through. Expect clarity where there was confusion. Expect opportunity where there was stagnation. Expect supply where there was scarcity. Expect divine order where there was chaos. Heaven is drawing you into a higher rhythm, a rhythm where blessings meet you, not chase you. Chosen one, stay sensitive, stay awake, stay aligned. The shift has already begun, and heaven is guiding you step by step into the breakthrough prepared for you. Chosen one. As we continue, I need you to understand that heaven is orchestrating a convergence of your past, present, and future. Every prayer you whispered in silence, every tear you shed, unnoticed, every act of faith that seemed small, has been catalogued in the heavenly realms. You are standing at a divine intersection where all those moments are aligning to propel you forward. I know how heavy the weight of waiting can feel. I have walked through those moments myself when it seemed like answers were delayed, when doors remained closed, despite persistent faith. Yet those delays were never denials. They were divine calibrations, precise adjustments by heaven to ensure that when the blessing arrived, you would receive it fully with clarity and without compromise. This is why the stirring you feel inside is sacred. It is a signal that heaven is moving, preparing a window you must not miss. Anointed One. The weight pressing on your spirit is not random. It is the gravity of destiny calling you to vigilance. Every distraction you have experienced, every conversation that felt heavy, every conflict that threatened your peace, these were the enemy's attempts to derail you from alignment. But God is overriding every interference, every subtle attack, every plan intended to delay your breakthrough. Your persistence, your quiet obedience, your refusal to compromise your calling, it has activated a supernatural defense around your destiny. I know how exhausting it can feel when the world seems to resist your progress, when your efforts feel unnoticed, when doors seem locked. But the unseen realm is already shifting in your favor. Heaven is preparing the environment for your promotion, your restoration, and your supernatural alignment. Chosen One. Take note of this: timing is one of the most sacred tools in God's hands. Every breakthrough has a window. Every financial elevation has a timestamp. Every supernatural transfer occurs at the appointed hour. You may have felt moments of delay or silence, but those were not oversights. They were divine pauses, giving you time to refine your heart, purify your intentions, and strengthen your faith. The heaviness you feel now, the restlessness, the heightened awareness, these are not burdens. They are signals that heaven is aligning you with the perfect moment. I've walked through seasons where I sensed urgency, a pull toward preparation before a revelation could manifest. That urgency was always a blessing disguised as tension. It is the same for you now. Anointed One, your heart posture matters more than ever. Heaven is calling you to guard it carefully. Your thoughts, your intentions, your focus, they are instruments in this season. If you allow distractions, negativity, or past wounds to remain unresolved, they can dilute the power of what God is sending. But if you respond with clarity, surrender, and obedience, you will find that every alignment has a momentum of its own. The blessings that arrive in God's timing have weight. They do not dissipate, they multiply. They shift not just your life, but the lives of those connected to your destiny. I have seen the impact of obedience and alignment firsthand, moments when a single yes transformed circumstances that seemed immovable. Your faithfulness in this season is preparing the stage for the same kind of supernatural impact. Chosen One. There is a divine financial and spiritual transfer approaching you. It may not appear the way you expect. It may not arrive with fanfare, but it will be unmistakable in its timing and effect. I have witnessed God move in ways that defy natural logic, unexpected provision, sudden connections, doors opening that no human effort could have arranged. And these moments are never random. They are the direct result of alignment with heaven. Your readiness, your faith, your obedience, they have prepared you for this transfer. The rest is heaven's orchestration. Anointed One, your sensitivity is a gift, not a flaw. It allows you to perceive shifts that others cannot. It alerts you to spiritual currents, to opportunities, to redirections. Pay close attention to the stirrings in your spirit, even when they feel subtle. They are divine nudges, instructions, in real-time invitations to move in alignment with your destiny. I know what it is like to sense something before it manifests, that anticipation, that tension, that quiet whisper in your soul. That is exactly what is happening to you now. Heaven is activating your discernment for what is about to unfold. Chosen one, the pressure you feel is preparing you. The urgency you sense is positioning you. The restlessness inside is refining you. Every nudge, every prompt, every moment of clarity is a divine sign that your season of breakthrough is imminent. I have walked through moments when the weight of preparation was almost unbearable, when every step seemed precarious. Yet each moment was essential. Each moment built capacity, sharpened faith, and clarified vision. And now the same refining is happening in your life. You are not being burdened, you are being elevated. Anointed one, as you stand in this sacred season, understand that your obedience, your alignment, and your faithfulness are now in direct conversation with heaven. The atmosphere around your life is responding. Doors are beginning to move. Resources are being released. Favor is shifting. What was hidden is now appearing. What was delayed is accelerating. And your spirit is being prepared to fully receive and steward the next level of manifestation, blessing, and supernatural transfer. Chosen one, as we enter the final stretch of this prophetic message, I need you to hear this clearly. Heaven is orchestrating a release in your life that cannot be stopped. What has been delayed, what has been hidden, what has seemed impossible, all of it is now moving into manifestation. I have walked through moments where I could sense the shift before the blessing arrived, and I can tell you with confidence that your spirit is feeling the same stirring right now. That heaviness, that anticipation, that holy urgency is heaven aligning circumstances for your breakthrough. Nothing is random. Nothing is accidental. Every detail of your preparation has been considered in the throne room. Anointed one, the doors that open now will demand faith, readiness, and clarity. You cannot enter with hesitation or fear. You must move with awareness, boldness, and spiritual confidence. I have seen firsthand that when obedience meets timing, the results are supernatural. You may be wondering how this will appear, perhaps as a sudden opportunity, a revelation, a restoration, or even a financial release that seems impossible by human logic. Do not focus on the method. Focus on the alignment. Focus on the readiness of your heart. Focus on the faith that allows heaven to move freely in and through your life. Chosen one. Every distraction, every burden, every confusion that has tried to derail you in recent days is being dismantled. Heaven is clearing the path before your breakthrough. You are being positioned to step fully into what has already been prepared for you. Your persistence, your prayers, your obedience, and your faithfulness are now converging with divine timing. The blessing you have been waiting for is not only approaching, it is reaching for you. All you need is to remain awake, alert, and aligned with the Spirit. Anointed one, I want you to feel the weight of this truth. Your season of supernatural provision, spiritual elevation, and divine transfer is now active. What was once delayed is now accelerating. What was once hidden is now visible. Your readiness, your alignment, and your faith are the keys that unlock this manifestation. Stand firm, remain sensitive, and step boldly, because heaven is moving in your favor. The window is open, the assignment is real, and the moment for your breakthrough has arrived. Chosen one, you are standing in the exact moment heaven prepared for you. This is your appointed hour, your Kairos moment, and the supernatural transfer is already in motion. Anointed one, your spirit is awakening to the fullness of what God has ordained. Every prayer, every act of faith, every season of waiting has brought you here. The doors that were once closed are now swinging open. What was delayed is accelerating. What was hidden is appearing. Your breakthrough, your provision, your elevation, all are aligning in perfect divine timing. Chosen one, receive this. Now your faith, your obedience, and your surrender have positioned you for unmatched favor. Every distraction, every doubt, every obstacle that tried to hinder you is being dismantled. Your atmosphere is being cleared, your motives purified, your steps fortified. You are being strengthened for what is coming, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can stand against the plan God has written for you. Anointed one, let peace rise within you. Let courage consume every fear. Let clarity illuminate your path. Stand in expectancy, for God's favor surrounds you, angels attend you, and heaven is moving on your behalf. Walk forward in confidence, knowing that your breakthrough is active, your blessing is tangible, and your destiny is secured. Chosen one, remain faithful, aligned and attentive to the flow of the anointing. Let gratitude anchor your spirit as you step into this new season. Comment your Amen if your heart receives this word. Share it with someone else in need of encouragement. And know this heaven has confirmed you, elevated you, and is commissioning you for everything He has ordained. Go forth, empowered, renewed, and fully prepared to receive what is yours in this sacred season.